Did you know that there is a secret so well kept by the Grodd Foundation that even the Sanctuary and the mighty Gold Saints were unaware of its existence? For years, that's right, while the world turned its eyes to the galactic war in the shadows, science was attempting the impossible. And under the funding of Mitsumasa Kido, the Steel Saints emerged. Hello, Saints and Amazons. Welcome to the channel. Always wanted to know, I'm Wesley, and today we're going to talk about one of the most intriguing and sometimes forgotten events in the classic chronology of the Knights of the Zodiac. We're going to talk about the Steel Saints, the technological task force created by Mitsumasa Kido to serve as humanity's last line of defense against the Sanctuary. So go ahead and comment which Steel Saint is your favorite. And of course, click like, subscribe to the channel, turn on the notification bell, and let's get into this awesome video. It all started with a fateful encounter in the ruins of Greece, when Mitsumasa Kido received the baby Athena and the Sagittarius gold cloth from the hands of Aiolos of Sagittarius. The Gold Saint was in his final moments, and Mitsumasa Kido didn't just receive a mission, he received the weight of the world's destiny on his shoulders. Kido was a businessman, a visionary, but above all, he was a pragmatist. He knew that sending young people to train in inhuman conditions to awaken their cosmos was a risky gamble. And if they failed, and if the Sanctuary sent forces that the Bronze Knights couldn't stop, it was with this thought that the Steel Knights project was born. In complete secrecy, using the colossal infrastructure of the Grodd Foundation, Kido summoned the brightest mind in robotics and science of the time, Dr. Asamori. The mission was clear, but it seemed like something out of a science fiction book. To create armors capable of rivaling the sacred garments forged from orichalcum, germanium, and stardust. But that could be operated by humans without the need to awaken their cosmos. Dr. Asamori spent years studying the fragments of information that Kido had about Athena's armors. He didn't have access to any other armors besides the Sagittarius armor, but he had the cutting-edge technology of the Grodd Foundation. The result was the three original steel armors: the Sky Armor, the Earth Armor, and the Sea Armor. Unlike conventional armors, which respond to the user's spiritual will, these were true mechanical exoskeletons. They had propulsion systems, advanced combat sensors, and energy absorption mechanisms. The big challenge was the power source. How to supply energy to a suit that needed to fly at supersonic speeds or generate pressure vacuums. The answer lay in microfusion batteries and kinetic energy conversion systems, something that was decades ahead of anything the Japanese or American military had at that time. But the armors were only half of the equation. They needed pilots, and that's where our three protagonists come in: Shou, Daiti, and Ushio. These young men were not chosen for their protective constellations, but rather for their physical aptitude, psychological resilience, and ability to synchronize with complex machines. They underwent training as rigorous as that of the Bronze Knights, but focused on extreme physical endurance and combat piloting. Shou is undeniably the tactical leader of the trio. The theory is that his armor is modeled after the constellation Tucana, although it is a modern constellation and not one of Athena's original 88. Shou's main distinguishing feature is his ability to fly. The Sky Armor has suction turbines on the chest plate, which allow Shou to absorb fire attacks or energy blasts, process them, and send them back at the enemy. In terms of personality, Shou is the balance. He understands that he is a piece on a larger board and accepts the burden of being an artificial knight, with a nobility that many silver knights would envy. Inspired by the constellation Vulpecula, the Fox Knight is the youngest and most agile of the group. His armor is designed for ground combat and features a unique locomotion system. It transforms into a type of motorized vehicle, allowing him to move at high speeds across any terrain. What Dite lacks in brute strength, he makes up for. In combat cunning, his attacks are quick, focused on destabilizing the opponent's balance. He is the heart of the team, the one who keeps their spirits high even when the odds are against them. Modeled after the golden constellation, the fish and sword, Shou is the brute force and tactical support. His armor is capable of generating radio waves and ultrasound, which can directly interfere with the opponent's nervous system, or neutralize sound-based attacks. Shou is the most serious character, the one who analyzes the enemy's cosmos frequencies to find gaps in their defense. His armor can transform into a submarine vehicle, making him the master of battles in aquatic environments. Mitsumasa Kito's original plan was for the Steel Knights to appear only in an absolute emergency, and that emergency came during the battle against the Silver Knights. In the anime, while Seiya, Shiryu, and Yoga were being pushed to their limits by warriors like Babel of Centaur and Algold of Perseus, the shadows moved. Their first appearance is one of the most impactful moments of the classic anime. The Bronze Knights are exhausted, their armor cracked, their cosmos wavering. Suddenly, the sound of turbines cuts through the air. 3 metallic figures appear on the horizon, not surrounded by a constellation aura, but by a chromed, technological glow. Babel of Centaur, a proud silver knight who mastered flames, laughed when he saw those toys, but the laughter died. When Shou used the suction system of his armor to simply swallow the Centaur's sacred fire, it was a reality check for the Sanctuary. Humanity had found a way to fight back. A fascinating curiosity that answers our question about the secret of the Grot Foundation is, how are they able to fight without Cosmo? The answer is kinetic synchronization. While a Knight of Athena burns his life energy to perform miracles, the Steel Knights use centrifugal force and air pressure. When the 3 attack together, they create a steel hurricane. They spin at high speeds, creating an absolute vacuum in the center, sucking in the oxygen and the kinetic energy from their opponent's attacks. It's a pure application of classical physics against the metaphysics of the cosmos. This makes them incredibly effective against mid-level Silver Knights. However, Dr. Asamori himself knew the limitations. The human body has a limit to how much G-force and mechanical pressure it can withstand. That's why the battles of the Steel Knights are always quick. They are intervention forces, not endurance warriors. Many fans wonder if they were really that efficient. Why didn't they go to the Sanctuary to fight in the Battle of the 12 Houses? Why didn't they help in Poseidon or Hades? The explanation within the story would be that the continuous effort of using the steel armors caused immense physical strain on the young men. Daiti and Ushio, since they didn't have Cosmo to protect their bodies internally, the vibration from the machines and the pressure from the battles started to take their toll. The Grot Foundation, under the command of Sayori Kito, decided to discontinue the project to preserve the lives of the young men, focusing resources on the development of the Bronze Saints. However, the concept never died. Years later, as we saw in Saint Seiya Omega, the steel technology was improved and distributed to form an entire army of steel soldiers, proving that Mitsumasa Kito's vision was correct. The human will, combined with science, can indeed be a pillar of support for Athena's justice. This makes the Steel Saints the only characters in the entire franchise who are technically robotic armors in a world of mythological deities. So, what do you think about this attempt to replicate the power of the gods with science? Do you think they should have had more prominence in the series, or did they fulfill their role as unexpected help well? Leave your opinion here in the comments. I want to know what you think about Shou, Daiti, and Ushio. If you enjoyed this story about the Granite Foundation and Dr. Samurai, don't forget to leave a like, subscribe to the channel, and activate the notification bell so you don't miss any of the upcoming videos about the vast universe of Saint Seiya. And, as always, thank you for watching until the end. Thanks a lot, see you next time. We're in this together. Burn your cosmos to infinity.